Welcome back, everybody, to Fullback Friday, your weekly dose of fullback content here on the MillerFootball channel. If you don't know who I am by now, my name is David. I also go by MillerFootball, and today we're not going to do too much of an intro now that I think about it, because you know why you're here. You clicked on the video. You want to see some fullbacks? I've got some fullbacks to show you. We've got 12 plays from Week 13. We're going to start with the Thanksgiving games. We've got 4 plays from them. So let's go ahead and dive into it here, starting out with, like I said, the Thanksgiving games. First guy on the agenda is Hunter Luepke of the Dallas Cowboys. Love talking about Luepke, and normally we don't do this early in the video, but we're going to be starting out with our block of the week for Week 13. This is a great job by Hunter Luepke here, springing a very big touchdown. Got to remember, block of the week doesn't necessarily have to mean that it is a pancake block or some sort of crazy play. It just has to be an effective one. And in terms of importance this week, I don't think there was a more important block around the league, at least among fullbacks. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this one here. As Dallas needs a touchdown, right? They're trying to hang in this one with the Chiefs. They end up going to win it. And Luepke is going to lead Malik Davis through the hole. He's got to pick up Nick Bolton here. Very formidable opponent. So what's Luepke going to do? He recognizes that Bolton is sitting down in this gap to the left. There's a little bit of daylight here. So Luepke is going to hit this outside shoulder in an attempt to create a wall between Bolton and the running back. And he is going to do just that. We hit that outside shoulder. That creates just a little bit of daylight for Davis to spring through. And then he's off to the races. It's a great run after the block as well. Everybody's excited. You see Luepke's getting over there to celebrate with his boy. You gotta love to see it. I had a Cowboys fan when I posted this for my 25 days of fullback blocks, which if you're not keeping up with, you absolutely should. Every day leading up to Christmas, we've got a YouTube short where we're breaking down one block a day. I talked about this block on there already, and someone said it reminded him of Daryl Johnston blocking for Emmitt Smith. And you know what? I think Hunter Luepke would be very, very happy to get that comparison. I don't know that Malik Davis here is quite Emmitt Smith, but Luepke is a tremendous fullback, and this play was a tremendous effort to set up a big-time touchdown in a must-win game. Sticking with Luepke here, this is our second of 2 blocks from him today. Got him lined up just a little offset here to the right side of our screen. Just for reference for this play, when I'm saying right, I mean over here. When I'm saying left, I mean over here. I'm talking from the perspective that we're taking a look at, because we're watching from the defense's perspective. Just want to make that clear so I don't have to keep explaining that. But we'll go ahead and snap this ball here, and we've got a pretty similar scenario. We've got the linebacker stepping down to the left here, which is going to open up some space to the right. What's Luepke going to do? He's going to attack this outside shoulder, and that's going to allow Javonte Williams to come in behind him. So Luepke does a great job getting low, hitting that outside shoulder, standing the linebacker up, and he creates just the tiniest bit of separation there to create a wall between the linebacker and the running back, and Javonte Williams is able to get downhill for about 7 yards there. And my favorite part about this play, look where Drue Tranquill ends up. He's all the way over here. He never had a chance to make a play on the running back there, whereas Hunter Luepke, he is in the trenches right here. He is in the middle of all this. I want to say this is his helmet right here. If it's not there, then he's on the other side of big old Cooper Beebe. But either way, he's in the trenches. He jumped back in to help with the running back, and the guy he blocked is nowhere to be found within the pile there. We'll just rewind it a bit here so you can see what I'm talking about. So you see Luepke, he gets tossed off a little bit, after the block is over. Tranquill's like, all right, buddy, you got it. And Luepke ends up finding his way there, starts pushing, tries to help out. They don't end up getting extra yards off of it, but it's good to see Luepke jumping in there and trying to help out his running back just a little bit more, because that is obviously the job of the fullback, is to make the running back's job easier, to help him out when you can, and I would say Luepke definitely embodies that. We've got 2 more blocks here from Thanksgiving, both coming from Mr. Pancake Pat Ricard, and I'm not going to waste a bunch of time because this one's fun. This is in the first quarter with about 7 minutes left. They're going to get a big Derrick Henry rushing touchdown. And I'm not going to lie, Ricard's block doesn't end up being crucial, but it's awesome. So we'll take a look here as they're going to toss this one to Derrick Henry. And obviously from Ricard's perspective, you pick up this corner here, the safety, whoever he is, this DB, and you're hoping that Henry can get out around you, right? Instead, Henry is going to bounce this one inside because of the way the rest of the blockers are developing. But Ricard doesn't know that yet. He thinks he's still blocking for Henry. He thinks he's blocking for his dear life, trying to help set up the king. being the royal guard, if you will. And he's going to take this DB all the way out of bounds. He says, you're leaving. You're not going near my running back. And then he sees Derrick Henry with some separation, with nothing but green in front of him, getting his way into the end zone there. And he's excited. I love the excitement here from Ricard. I mean, that's everything you want in a fullback, man. Just being that excited after driving a guy fully out of bounds to see your running back score a touchdown. It's cinema. Just absolutely beautiful. Again, you can look at this and say, well, Ricard's block didn't matter a whole lot because Henry bounced it away from him. And like, sure, but also every block matters. And I don't care if it matters or not in your eyes. Watching Ricard drive a guy out of bounds like he's Michael Oher in The Longest Yard saying he needed to go home, that gets me excited. I love that. It's just such a beautiful play. And this is one of those things, like, you're not going to notice it until you watch the all 22 because they're not focusing the camera on Ricard. At least I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe from the broadcast angle, you can see Ricard start to take this guy out of bounds, but you won't appreciate it as much until you see the all 22 because you're definitely not seeing the big boy celebrating there. Just a wonderful, wonderful job on a very fun play that ends up resulting in a touchdown that unfortunately didn't mean a whole lot for the Ravens, but hey, Pat Ricard played a good game, and that's all I care about, to be totally honest. Final play here from the Thanksgiving games. We've got Ricard lined up in the backfield, straight up I formation here, and he's going to do a great job helping Derrick Henry pick up an 8-yard run. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. He's lead blocking for Henry. He wants to open up a lane for Henry in between himself and Charlie Kolar, so he's got to pick up Joseph Osai here. He sees that Osai is approaching wide, so what's he going to do? He's going to attack that inside shoulder and turn him out so Henry can run by him. He does a great job getting low. Look at that leverage. Look at how low he gets here. That's awesome. And he throws all of his weight into Osai's inside shoulder, stands him up, turns him out, and look at Derrick Henry being able to run through that lane. I mean, they parted the Red Sea for him. That's a very big block there. Great job there by Ricard. And that's against a player who had a damn good game. Joseph Osai was everywhere in this one. But for this play, at the very least, Pat Ricard made sure he had no chance of getting to Derrick Henry in very, very technically sound fashion. I have a confession to make. You've been lied to. This video is not just about fullbacks blocking people. I have one clip of a fullback catching a football. But it's worth it, I promise, because this play design right here is awesome. And it opens up none other than Mr. Kyle Juszczyk, the best fullback in the league, the very model of a modern major fullback, if you will. He ends up getting a, 23-yard reception here on the first play from scrimmage. I love everything about this. So we'll go ahead and take a look. They're going to bring Juszczyk in motion, and you can see the line is going to shift downward, and Kittle's going to kick out, right? They're showing that they are running a zone handoff to Christian McCaffrey. Instead, what ends up happening is Juszczyk is going to leak out. You can see here, he's running around, and number 5 here almost thinks like, oh, he's trying to block me. I'm going to sidestep him and get away. Purdy starts to roll out on the boot. Juszczyk is open. 5 can't catch up. Purdy lofts it up. Gets absolutely clobbered by Myles Garrett at the end of the play. And Juszczyk is able to turn around, grab it, pull it in. Like I said, that's a 23-yard pickup. He hits his first down celebration. Just a beautiful, beautiful play call here. I love the balls to come out and call this on first down, like the first play from scrimmage of the game. You know, coming out and saying, they think we're going to run it. If we bring Juice in motion, they think, oh, it's going to be a run. You got to watch Juszczyk. And instead, you dial up a play for him to get the ball 23 yards downfield. He's able to leak out between the tackle and the tight end there. Just awesome stuff. I mean, how many other teams are drawing up deep shots to their fullback? The answer is none. The answer is none. The 49ers are the only team that is running a play with a designed deep shot to their fullback, right? This is the only team in the league that is going to go into a play saying the goal is to hit Kyle Juszczyk 20 yards downfield. And it always works out for them. Always. Unless something dramatically goes wrong in the backfield, like, you know, if Myles Garrett gets there a second quicker, which does happen sometimes, or, you know, some of the blocking doesn't hold up, whatever. Unless something fails on the quarterback end of things, it always ends up in big yards for the 49ers. You look at the Broncos game a couple years ago where Juszczyk had the toe tap catch on the sideline. No other fullback ever is doing that. He is truly one of a kind, and this play right here is a prime example of that. I could sit here and watch it all day. I understand it's not the, like, craziest thing in the world to look at to say, oh, well, busted coverage, they're not paying attention to him, blah, blah, blah. That's the point, because nobody expects the fullback to go out and do that. But you should expect Juszczyk to do it. And the Browns didn't, and they pay the price for it. Obviously end up losing this game big time. And some might say it's because they lost all momentum on the first play of the game, thanks to Kyle Juszczyk. And of course, as we all know, Kyle Juszczyk isn't just a deep threat, right? He's also a tremendous blocker. And on this play right here, he's going to do a great job opening up for Christian McCaffrey. This is going to be a first down run. We've got a 2nd and 4. They're going to pick up 6. And Juszczyk is going to be someone who absolutely saves this play. He is crucial here. So let's take a look as we're going to bring him in motion. And you can see 17 here is getting good penetration. He's going to get downhill, and Juszczyk needs to block him, right? Now, on top of that, you can see from the way McCaffrey's stepping, he's going to want to go out around Juszczyk. That would be the path of least resistance for him, right? Obviously, he could cut upfield, but it would take a little extra momentum, a little extra energy, and you don't want to do that. As a fullback, you want to make your tailback's job as easy as possible. So Juszczyk has to go into this block knowing that McCaffrey wants to go around him. How does he do that? Well, he attacks the outside shoulder of the linebacker here and is able to wall him off. McCaffrey runs right by, and he's able to pick up 6 there. Not the most intense block or anything, but Juszczyk does exactly what he needs to there. It almost looks a little nonchalant, if we're being honest. Juszczyk just going, hey, buddy, not right now. You know, running up to him like, hey, my guy's got to get through. Watch yourself, you know. He's not planting him on his ass. He's not running through him. He's not even, like, getting up in his pads. He literally just puts a hand on his chest, like, not so fast, bucko. And I absolutely love that. There's a certain, like I said, a certain nonchalantness to it, especially when you see Juszczyk just strutting away like, yeah, I did that. I set that up. And I kind of love it. I love the confidence that Juszczyk plays with. He's such a good football player. He's such a fun football player to watch. And those 2 plays this week were definitely the standouts for him. The next player we're going to take a look at is Alec Ingold taking us down to Miami. And he has 2 plays that we're going to take a look at, one of which is very, very fun. And it's this first one. Because we've got a 29-yard touchdown from Devon Achane that Ingold is going to do something very exciting on. Some might argue it's more impressive and more exciting than the touchdown. I might be the only person who would say that, but who knows? We'll see. Anyways, we're going to bring a man in motion here as we've got Ingold offset to the left side of our screen here. We're going to toss this ball out, and Ingold's just got to hit the first guy he sees, right? Now, Achane is going to end up taking this out and around because you can see there's inside leverage here from the defender on this tight end or receiver, I believe, actually. But Ingold is going to take care of Demario Davis, you know, vested veteran, one of the best in the league. Truly, truly an honor from Ingold's perspective to block a guy like Demario Davis. Or is it? Because he absolutely buries him in the dirt. He pops him, stands him upright, and puts him in the dirt. Just boom, stand him up. He trips, doesn't know what hit him. And Achane is able to run on by, outruns the defender there at the end, at least as much as he can for the touchdown. We'll watch it one more time. This one isn't a long one, but I do love the pancake. Just boom, hit him. And you see there's like a second of him trying to realize what's going on as Ingold has shifted his momentum, stood him upright, and then just kind of shoves him to the ground. And again, you know, I know some people look at these plays and they're like, well, who cares? It's not the block, right? It's not like he makes the block to spring the touchdown, whatever. Well, that's why it's not block of the week, but it is a fun block to take a look at. We've got one more play from Ingold here. We've got him lined up on the right side here, and he's going to do a great job. He is tasked with picking up the defensive end here, Carl Granderson. That's a big boy defensive end, and he stonewalls him. I mean, he completely walls him off there, creates some push, and he gets off the block there at the end because, of course, he is. Once you run by, you can't hold. But he gets off the block, and all he can do is just kind of like caress Achane's hip as he's able to run by and pick up 16 there. Just a key block on a pretty explosive play. Really, really good job there from Ingold. And you can see he's even celebrating there at the end, like, yeah. You know, he's pumped, he's feeling it. Maybe a little bit frustrated now that I'm seeing it that Achane got gang tackled. Maybe that's what that is, but I don't know. I'm choosing to believe he's pumped that he just completely stonewalled a big-ass defensive end. We take a look at the way he attacks the block. He hits that inside shoulder to create that wall between the defender and the running back. Just perfect stuff there. Again, Granderson does get off of the block and gets a hand on Achane, but he's not going anywhere. He ends up falling over. Really good job there by Ingold on that one. Next up on the agenda is none other than Seahawks rookie Robbie Oots, one of my favorites in the league. I know that I say that about all of them, but they really are some of my favorites. But Robbie is definitely up there. I think it's probably him, Juszczyk, and Lipke is my 3 favorites that are currently rostered, currently active. But regardless, this is going to be a nice play here, as he's going to have to pick up a 3 technique. He's going to have to make up for a teammate getting beat off the snap. So we'll go ahead and take a look here, and you can see right away, Oluwatimi, the center, he just gets absolutely mogged by Jonathan Allen here, who hits him with a nice swim move, sends him flying, and all of a sudden, Robbie Oots goes from thinking he's got to block a linebacker to now being responsible for the 3 technique. Pretty difficult adjustment, but Robbie is great at these adjustments. He does a great job cutting across the D tackle's face and hitting the inside shoulder. By doing that, Kenneth Walker is going to be able to get lateral and be able to get away, and then he's able to buy a little bit of time there. You see Robbie's got this man in prison, and then Kenneth Walker is able to break off there. He ends up picking up 4, ends up being a first down as well. Not like a super long or crazy run or anything, but Robbie just did such a fantastic job. That's such a good job improvising on the fly, going, oh shit, big guy coming at me, and getting underneath your pads and standing him up to make sure your running back doesn't get consumed. And then again, it ends up going for a first down. So great job there. The other play here from Mr. Oots that we've got to take a look at here, we've got him lined up directly in front of Zach Charbonnet. You can see his feet sticking out there, and he's going to play bodyguard on a toss play here. We bring a man in motion, and the first thing Oots has to do is help out right here. You've got a receiver getting beat by a linebacker, and Oots is going to do a great job just kind of getting him back in position for the receiver to pick up. Now he's just picking up the first guy he sees, and the first guy he sees is this corner trying to come all the way across the field. So what's Robbie going to do? He throws him into traffic. I mean, he literally gets a face mask full of ass right there, gets thrown directly into Charles Cross, and that ends up being, another player he takes out of the play. Only ends up being a 4-yard run. Not the craziest thing in the world, but I just love him tossing this corner safety, whatever he is. Just saying, get out of here. You're not relevant. You don't matter. You're not getting to my running back. Just whoom, throw him right in there. Again, another fun one. I love watching fullbacks throw people. It's one of the best things in the sport, and this was obviously a prime example. Look, he's laying on the ground like he doesn't even know what's going on. This was just simply perfect by Robbie Oots. And the final play we're going to take a look at here comes from our final player, Mr. Adam Prentice of the Denver Broncos. And this is going to be quintessential fullback stuff, right? This is pretty straightforward, tried and true. We've seen it a billion times before, but that doesn't make it any less exciting. So we'll go ahead and hand this ball off here. And Prentice is lead blocking for RJ Harvey. They're trying to open up a lane over here. And Prentice has located his target. He engages with the linebacker. Look how low he is coming into this block. He's got his shoulder down inside the linebacker's ribs. That's exactly what he wants. So he's going to be able to uproot that linebacker out of the lane, move him back about half a yard, and RJ Harvey is able to get his way into the end zone. A little bit of resistance there from the defense, but that's not Prentice's job, right? He picked up his guy. He opened up. He's excited. He's getting with his running back, the first guy over there to celebrate. And as I said, this is quintessential fullbacking. We see this time and time again, but I could watch it over and over and over again. I love watching a fullback open up a lane, gets good push there on the line of scrimmage. Like I said, he drives him back about half a yard, doesn't do anything too crazy, but gets the push he needs, opens up the lane. Harvey's able to get in there. They score, and they kept this game competitive for as long as they could. I love what Adam Prentice has done with Denver this year. I've talked about it on the channel before. He came in with Michael Burton going on IR in August, started out getting elevated from the practice squad, then he finally got activated to the full 53-man roster, and he's been great for them this year. But that is going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below, as it does help out the channel a ton. It shows your support, it shows your care, and I really do appreciate it. Also, make sure to subscribe for more fullback and football content coming your way throughout the rest of the regular season and beyond. As I mentioned early in the video, we're currently in the midst of my 25 Days of Fullback series, where we're taking a look at a different block from a different fullback every single day leading up to Christmas. It's a ton of fun. You definitely won't want to miss those. If you watched all the way through this video, I guarantee you'll enjoy those. And also make sure to let me know down in the comments below what you thought about this week. Wasn't super crazy in terms of like, bone-crushing blocks or anything, but guys are doing their job, and at the end of the day, that is what you have a fullback for, to do their job. It's a thankless position. It's not a, super flashy position. It's a textbook by the numbers kind of position that sometimes does get to blow people up, like we did see 1 or 2 examples of this week. But either way, make sure to let me know down in the comments below how you feel. And above all else, I hope you all have a wonderful day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you. I hope you enjoy it, because you're all wonderful people and you truly do deserve it.
Had a chance on the throwback. This was an ill-advised throw. What an unbelievable catch by Cole Kmet. And he cups it too. No movement when he hits the ground, tucked up against his shoulder. Wow. Using that